All right. Welcome to the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply Store and the Owl's Nest Barbecue Show. I am Steve Ray. That is Mike Williams. That is Pete Branton, the star of that video that you just watched. And welcome on a rainy Saturday morning here in Ooltewah, Tennessee. But we're glad you're here. We're going to be doing, guys. I think it's the classic snack. I think everybody needs to know how to do this because it's a unique piece of meat, a pork belly.
Steve, this is going to be so tasty today. I was thinking about it while I was napping at work over the weekend. I just tell you.
You know, the thing about it is, Michael, too, it's just so simple. It's not a lot of hard work to it, really. It's not. It's not a very expensive piece of meat, to get out there and deal with.
Yeah.
I love doing this. It's been fun, and it is a great snack. A great snack.
It's going to be delicious.
And they're so tasty, and they're just so tasty. But we're going to take you from start to finish on the pork belly snack. So we'll pull up a chair, have a cup of coffee, and watch it with us. And I promise you, by the end of this show, you'll know exactly how to do pork belly. We got a special little presentation we're going to do for you, and we're excited about that. I want to remind everybody that we're brought to you by all the great vendors here at Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply. Folks, we got everybody from David Bosca to Myron Mixon to Melissa Cookson, Tuffy Stone, Heath Rouse, Malcolm Reed, and everybody in between. You can get your favorite Pitmasters rub here at the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply in Ooltewah. And remind everybody, if you need some inside work on your windows like blinds, only one place to call, Budget Blinds. My buddies John and Sam, their number is 344-7393, 344-7393. The guys at Budget Blinds, give them a call. Plantation blinds, that's what they specialize in. I've got those things. They're pretty cool. When the sun comes in the window, put in that little thing in the mouse there. You can have it dark in there, and then when the sun goes away, you open it up, and it's light again. Budget blinds, that's what they'll do for you. Big week for you guys? Anything, any special barbecue-wise? I know we all have work and have jobs and all that sucky stuff. But other than that,
well, Steve, I got a new gravity-fed smoker that I've been trying to work with and learn how to use.
Yeah, what was it? Did you got, Michael?
I've got a dual-chamber Deep South.
Yeah,
and it's very well made, insulated, fully insulated. Did my first cook on it yesterday with some beef ribs, and I'm really excited to use it more. I think it's got some really good potential.
Now, this smoker is unique in the fact that it's a gravity feed. It's got two chambers.
Yep.
And two separate chimneys.
Two different chimneys, two charcoal chutes, and it's two different cookers kind of made together.
And so you could do a hot and fast on one side and a low and slow on the other side.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's pretty unique.
That is. I think that's a great idea. I can't wait to watch your video when you do the walk around like Jason Payne did on his.
I should do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Jason Payne, our buddy, Grilling with Red, did a great walk around, posted it on the Owl's Nest Barbecue Nation page of his old country gravity feed smoker. A very interesting piece of equipment. And that's what we do here. We trade ideas and we talk about people's things. We talk about different people's smokers. It's the barbecue place where you need to come when you got an idea or you need an idea, or if you just want to talk about barbecue. This is the place you come. Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, Saturdays until 4 o'clock. And there's somebody here, usually Saturdays here until 2:30, and we'll be glad to help you. And we're open till 4 though, but some of us got to get home. We got stuff to do. We got stuff to do. It's Saturday.
Barbecue to cook.
That's right. We got barbecue to cook, and then get ready for next week. Okay. Let's go over what we used real quick, Pete, and then we're going to do then we got a little presentation we're going to do on the computer for you, and then we're going to show you everything on how to do these pork belly burn ends. Pete, let's start with what we do different, and I've never seen anybody else do this on YouTube or the videos, but what we used first to start off the day before.
We used Butcher's Barbecue Ham and Bacon Sweet Cure. It's pretty simple, right? You're just mixing it with water, getting this whole thing, right? By the way, we'll do a gallon with a gallon of water. You can do this whole thing, depending on how much you want to inject. But we injected it, Steve. I took that cure and injected it the day before we were going to cook it, and actually injected it. And after I injected it, I went ahead and I seasoned it with Melissa Cookston's Honey Peach. And I mean, I coated it really good. That's why you can see
Yeah.
the coloring, you know, the orange is coloring. And then I layered it, of course, with Grilling Addiction right afterwards. And then I let it set overnight.
Now
And
you let it sit in the cure too, didn't you?
yes,
Yeah.
it was sitting in I had it in a full size pan, whole. Didn't cut it at this point.
Yeah.
Did it whole, and had it sitting in that cure as well as being injected. Puffed it up really good, and let it set to the following day.
Yeah.
And then that's when we pulled it out and cut it into halves to be able to manage it.
And that'll be a good thing. Sean, if you'll hop up just real quick, what we're going to do, we've got some pictures here that we want to show you from where we kind of started, because we want you to see all the way from the beginning on what we did. Now, Pete, tell everyone, this is after we pulled the pork belly out of the cure.
Pulled it out of the cure, and then it was already seasoned, you know, from sitting in there, and then we just cut it in half, preparing to be able to do one for the show cooked and one to be able to show them prior to being cooked.
Yeah. All right. Look at that bacon.
Look at that.
If you say, boy, it looks just like bacon, that is bacon. That's if you slice that thin, that's what bacon is. And Pete, I think the cure that we did, it adds a better flavor. You can even see where the meat itself is turned a little bit pink. The fat, you know, if you don't cure that, that's solid white. But you can see that it's actually taking on a pinkish tint.
It enhances it, and if you were to take that pork belly and cut it before curing it, you're right, Steve. You'll see two different colors there.
Mm-hmm.
So it enhances it. It kind of brings it out, especially sitting in it as long as it was in there. And now look at your product. I mean, looks like you could just eat it like that.
And this is a picture of Pete when he brought it back to the Research and Development Center here at Owl's Nest Barbecue. There's the Butcher Barbecue in his right hand, and Melissa Cookston's Honey Peach in his left hand. That's the flavor profile that he used. It's the perfect sweet and perfect savory combination. That's why we like it so much. It gives you a perfectly balanced flavor profile, I think. All right, Pete, let's go on from there.
So I went back and, you know, although I had seasoned it prior to curing it, or while it was curing, went ahead and seasoned it again just before. As you can see it now, we're getting ready to put them in and cook them to 160 degrees.
Now, you know, we cure, and we can't really say enough about the curing process. This was just about a 24-hour cure, and that's what's so nice about Butcher Barbecue's quick cure. You can get something cured, but you can also use this same product if you were to want to take those pork bellies and turn it into bacon. You would simply cut it in half like so, season it with whatever profile you want, put the cure in a bag and put with water in it, and let that thing sit in that bag, or let it sit in a pan for up to a week, and then what you'll have is bacon. And we've done that before. There's videos. We've got videos of that in past files. All right, Pete, tell everybody what that is.
So took the first half of the two halves. We cooked them both to 160 degrees, pulled it out, sliced it up, put it back in the pan. What you can't see is in the bottom of that pan where it's sliced there's some pineapple juice in it.
Yeah.
We put some pineapple juice, keep some liquid in there. Pineapple's also pretty good to cook with, especially with pork. And so that's where it's at right now. And it's ready to go back onto the smoker right now to take it to 210 degrees.
Yeah, we cooked we cooked the pork bellies right up to 210 degrees, like it was like a pork butt, because we wanted to render that fat and get the meat good and flavorful. And that pork belly you see on the right, that's a whole. We've got that here on the table, and Pete's going to show you how to slice that up in just a moment.
And then we're going to put it in the pan just like you see the other one, and put it back on the smoker. And you can see, Steve, you can see the seasoning, everything that we put on there, starting to see some of it darkening. Now, when we put that in there, we covered that with aluminum foil for a while to get it up to temp where we want it. And then before we pulled it off and really finish cooking it.
Yeah, because I like when Pete, and that's all we've got on the on the slides there. When we talk about burnt ends, so oftentimes when you see people that do burnt ends, they're not they're like golden ends. I like them burnt. Michael, it's like a real burnt end brisket.
Oh yeah,
A real burnt end brisket's crunchy.
it is.
It's the burnt end of the meat that they used to give away when people waited in line at barbecue shops. That was a burnt end. What we call burnt ends now really aren't burnt ends. They're good and tasty,
Right.
but and the other ones that aren't burnt of these are good and tasty. But anyway, that's my editorial for the day. Okay. All right, Sean, if you'll go to the food cam, there you go. Pete is going to show us how he cut that thing up.
I like to cut it, Steve, with the grain, with the way
The-
the meat
the
runs.
first cut?
The first cut,
Yeah. He's doing about a 3/4 to an inch block. This is going to be harder because it's been in the refrigerator. But yeah, look at that. Look at that. That is nice. That
It's not
is nice.
bacon, don't it?
So you can see, you see how it enhanced it too. Look at
Yeah,
it
yeah.
does.
It's pink. That cure. I'm telling you, the cure is the big difference in I think in making these pork belly burnt ends that makes them even more tastier than without the cure.
Well, I've cooked burn ends a bunch of times. I've never used Butcher's sweet cure. That's going to be on my
Yeah.
list next time.
Steve and I have used it. We used it on bacon, and we've used it on hams and whole hogs under ham.
There's a fella that comes in here. His food truck is Bird Brassy. It's Brandon. What's Brandon's last name? It's not Norman. I don't know. Anyway, Brandon does turkey legs,
Yes.
and he buys it. He'll buy them 2 and 3 packs at a time, and he cures his turkey legs. And that's what they do at Disney World.
Wow.
That's like if you were to go to Publix or Food City and buy a big turkey leg and then just cook them, they're terrible. They're hard, but when you cure them, then you cook them, they're soft, and that's what makes them they're even tastier. So that's what cure will do.
That's a great idea.
Mike, I'm gonna get you to help me with this.
Yeah, we'll just line them up there.
I'm just gonna line them up to
Okay.
where they
Just
fit
put
in
'em in
there
there.
good.
You got to kind of, because when you line them up, you got to kind of push that over just a little bit in front of that camera, Michael. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. We still got Pete.
Gosh, it smells good.
Oh
It
yeah.
smells amazing.
And if you let this thing get cool overnight, then cut them, it's so much easier to cut.
And the good thing about this, Pete has such a history in the culinary world. This is going to be just some of the best stuff you ever put in your mouth.
I hope it is, Michael. I hope it is.
Oh, it's
But
good.
I tell you, the thing about it is I didn't do anything that anybody out there can't do if you just use the right stuff. Now, people's tastes are different, so you can put whatever seasonings you want to use on it. This is just the seasonings that I like. And
Now, Pete, some people will take that pork belly and they'll cut off a section of the meat to make them shorter and make them smaller.
right.
I don't like that. I like using the whole pork belly. It makes, number one, it makes it easier, and number two, I think you get more food to eat. It's just that simple.
Well, keep in mind that this right here we're putting in there, we took to 160 degrees. So we're going to get this back in there. I'm just going to set them in there,
Yeah.
Michael.
Yeah.
And
We took it to 160 degrees before we cut it.
right.
Yeah.
But what will happen is as you're taking it, it's going to render some more.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, it's going to render a whole lot more. Yeah.
So these are going to come down a little bit from where they are, but they're still pretty good because this happens to be a really meaty pork belly,
Yep.
which is good. This is the kind of pork belly I like to buy. You can't always find them like that, but I got this at Costco's, by the way, our local Costco.
And it was Pete. It wasn't expensive. That was what a
This was
13 was it
No,
no,
that-
7 pounds, 7 or 8
this-
pounds.
This was probably maybe $30.
Yeah, 30, 35 bucks. It wasn't crazy money. And the thing about a pork belly is, and they take the skin off for you, so there is no waste. You use 100% of the pork belly. Now what we do with this, we put a piece of foil over it. Yeah.
Sean, does that look all right?
Yeah, we'll put a piece of foil over that. We'll put it on the smoker, and we'll pound those things for probably. We'll set the smoker at 325, and we'll cover them up, and we'll let them be in the smoker for 3 or 4 hours. You can't overcook these things.
I'm going to swap with you, Michael.
And what we're going to do is we're going to take some pineapple juice, just regular old cheap pineapple juice. Michael, if you'll pour that in there, just pour it up right to the bottom of the. There's a riser in there. They call it a riser with feet, and it's in there, and that will steam those and add a little bit of flavor. Everything is better. Everything is better with pineapple juice. Put a little rum in there, man. You got a
little champagne. You have a mimosa.
Yep. You want a glove? All right.
One of the things that pineapple juice does, and people don't really think about, it has an enzyme in it that tenderizes meat.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned that in one of the classes that I took from Tuffy Stone, matter of fact.
I didn't even think about that when we were doing this, but you're right. That might be why these are so tender, what you're about to see, folks.
Yeah. So currently, the ones we're fixing to open up right now, Steve, we've taken the temperature, got it up.
Cooked them up to 210 yesterday. And what makes this such a great snack, Pete? Hold those up. Look at those. Now those are just move it over to the camera. They can see it. Yeah, right there. What makes those so good is they are burnt at the top, and they won't. And they will not taste burned.
So it's got a little crispy, but so tender.
It's so tender.
So
And
Steve, tell them what you're doing over there.
What I did, I just got some. Sean, go to the big camera real quick. I just got some apple habanero sauce, and we put it in a bowl. And Pete's going to put those in there, and we're going to pretend like they're just like chicken wings, and just get the tongs and throw a couple over your hands there, Pete. Yeah. And we're just going to toss them in there. That's good.
Move this here.
That smells so good.
All right, Pete, give it a good shake.
See if you can see in there. Can you see in there, Sean? There, look at that.
Yeah, that looks nice.
So,
Yeah, give it a good little shake. There you go. Move it around a little bit. I can't wait, fellas. I'm sorry.
I wish that our audience could smell this.
so all those seasonings together.
Man,
Wow.
that's pork heaven right there.
Woo! Hot.
That right there, Sean. All right. Now it's time to get your little
That
wooden stick there.
Thank you.
that is like putting a piece of cotton candy in your mouth, fella. What do you taste how tender this is?
Look at that right there.
I got angels singing in my mouth right now. That is so good.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you, you can't overcook these things. You want to take them up to 210 to 215 degrees. When I warmed these up this morning, when Pete was putting all this together in the back, I had them on the smoker. I had the smoker set at, thank you. I had the smoker set at 325, and I made sure that these got cooked up. I took them back up to 210 degrees, Michael, to make sure they were exactly where I left them yesterday before I had to take them and put them in the refrigerator.
Put these in here and finish them all off.
Sean, bring your stick over.
Give me just a second there, Sean. Let me fix it up for you.
Man.
By the way, that apple habanero
Yeah, we used,
is just amazing. But the apple habanero, the Melissa Cookston's
Honey Peach,
and the Grilling Addiction, David Bosco's Busher Barbecue Grilling Addiction, and that sauce together is phenomenal.
You are absolutely right. That's an amazing combo.
And you know what? There's no rule that says you couldn't take those spices and rubs and put them in there again
Oh yeah.
and mix them up.
Yeah.
Or you could put something. Now for me, You know how I am. I would put a little salt in there.
Yes, you would.
I would. I'm not kidding. I would put a little salt in there because
So I probably would put salt in there had I not cured it. But curing it, that cure it gives a good salty, not too salty for me, but it's got a good salt taste.
poke me not one of them pigs.
You know, the good thing is it's not over salt.
No,
No, I think it needs a little salt,
It
but
has a good flavor to it. And don't worry about these pork bellies being a little fatty, because when you cook these just right, that fat renders and it's like candy.
now,
Yeah,
now look here. You talk,
Oh.
you talk about the ultimate Super Bowl party. Nabisco, easy cheese, cheese whiz. Any cheese in a can's got my attention right there. Right here. Look at look at that. Look at that. Look at that right there. Right there.
Get a
Wow.
picture of that on that camera.
Look at that. That will go viral right there. I promise you. Right there. That's a pork belly with some cheese whiz on the top.
Pass me that can, Steve.
Oh. No.
Let's try that out.
Oh
That
my
looks
God.
good.
I know. Pete and I had 2 biscuits this morning. Try that. Try it. Sean, bring your poker back over here. Here, put that.
Put that. Hold on. Put that camera on there, right there. I want to show that.
Yeah, look at that. Friends and neighbors, you show up to your Super Bowl party with one of these things, and you will be getting the accolades you just well deserve.
I don't think I could ever eat pork belly burn ends another way after having
Come here, Sean.
cheese on it.
Now, a lot of people don't wrap them. A lot of people say you shouldn't wrap them. That's what tenderizes them. You know, you do a look at that. Look at that. Look at Sean's eyes.
Wait till he tastes it.
Sean's never seen food before. Poke me one more, Pete.
There you go.
Poke me one. Okay.
Get what you want right there.
All right. Let me get a small one. Yeah, that's perfect. That's a fat cap right there.
So Steve, this is such an easy. I mean, it's not time consuming. You know, when you're curing it, you know, it's just sitting there. By the way, I put it in the refrigerator uncovered. You know, but
Okay.
that's probably the long pole of it. Everything else is pretty simple. But imagine like having that sitting out for everybody to snack on. And I just think that's the flavors just so complement each other. It's good.
It
Did
won't
you
last long.
put that cheese whiz on one?
I did.
Yeah.
Is that
Do it
not
again? Yeah.
Sean? Is that not?
It's great.
I just invented that.
You did.
I just invented that right now. Cheese whiz on pork belly burn ends.
That's the only way to eat it now.
Give me another one of those, Pete. Let me stab one. Sean, we're gonna do this. Get me on that food camera again, okay? Get me on the food cam. That was so big though. I hate that.
No, that's perfect.
No, I get that. Let me get that fat cap. I like the fat cap.
Wow.
There we go. All right, this is how we do it.
Let's see
You
what
just
happens.
you just poke it. You take that can of easy cheese right there. This is a paid promotion. They're paying me hundreds of thousands of dollars to promote their product, I'm sure. There it is right there. Cheese whiz or easy cheese from Nabisco on a pork belly. Now go back to the big camera, Sean. Oh my God.
That's
Sinful.
tasty.
Sinful.
It's a different.
It's so
level.
good.
Yeah.
You talk about a super snack.
Isn't that it is? So what you just said to me, it is a different level.
Yeah.
It's
It is.
I watch. I'll tell you, Michael. I love to watch cooking shows, and I'm always watching them. Steve asked me about Natasha's Kitchen. I don't know if you've ever watched that,
I've seen it.
but I love
She's
watching
great.
her. She's awesome. But I watched, knowing that I was getting ready to do this. I watched. I bet you 15 or 20 different videos of people doing burn ends.
Yeah.
And although they all look like good ways, it still just didn't strike me how I wanted to do it. Steve would ask me all week, "What are you gonna put on it?" What are you gonna do? How are you gonna do this? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
And I had it in my mind. I knew grilling addiction obviously was going to be part of it, but Melissa Cookston's honey peach and that mixture with the apple habanero, and then Steve taking it to 210 at the end right there. Oh my gosh!
People are afraid. You watch videos, you watch things, and they're afraid to cook them past 180 degrees, like something's going to happen. Oh, you cannot overcook these things. The worst thing that'll happen is the fat cap will fall off of the meat cap, and then all of a sudden you got double flavor. That's the worst thing that'll happen.
Steve, we did at 200 when these things hit 200. Steve, you and I pulled one out and tasted it.
It was delicious.
It was delicious.
What did I say?
You said we need to take it to 210.
It's not done.
Let's get it a little more tender. And he's right. It had a little more of a chew than I didn't like it.
Yeah.
And then when we took it to 210, oh my gosh, it was just a different.
Now you'll never get the meat to taste like the fat or have the same texture as the fat on a pork belly, but you can get it close enough where it will melt together in your mouth,
Right, exactly.
and that's when you get that cotton candy that, as Melissa Cookston said, that velvety feel that's perfect barbecue is a velvety texture, a velvety feel in your mouth, and that makes it perfect.
You want that fat to melt in your mouth.
Yeah,
Just-
yeah, yeah.
It's like a sandwich.
Preach it.
of meat.
Preach it, buddy. Preach it.
Good stuff.
Look at that. Oh, look at that thing right there. I like to grab that fat cap.
And it's cooked right when that fat does. When you've got it rendered down good and it just melts, you've done the right thing.
Have you ever cured any?
I haven't, but I'm going to. Now you give me this idea. Love Butcher barbecue products, and I'm definitely going to do it next time I do a pork belly.
I'm a big believer in that cure.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Steve, and when we've done, I don't know, since Steve's, we've probably done 3 whole hogs. I have helped with Steve with them, and he always cures the hams with that, and it's amazing. And
Yeah.
I know you told me a story, and I believe it. I have never done it, but cooked one without curing it, and it was horrible. Steve said it just was.
Well, the meat it's not horrible. It's horrible if you eat it alone, but you got to mix the ham meat with the pork butt and the other parts of the meat of the whole hog to make it taste good. When you cure it, it stands on its own. That's what I like about it. It only takes 48 hours. Well, David's quick cure.
Steve, I've had whole hog from 3 different cooks. I've had it from Melissa Cookson.
Oh, what does she know about it? What does she know about it?
Exactly. Paul Holden with Willingham.
Mhm.
I've had his in Texas last year, and I've had yours. You sold some in Cambridge Square
Yeah.
a couple of years ago. Matter of fact, I think yours was the first that I ever had. And I'll tell you, Steve.
We cured those hams.
Well, your whole hog was as good as the other 2 that I've tasted, and those 2, they are really top cooks. So I know that you know what you're doing.
Well, the cure is I think is the key to you talk about, Michael. You talk about taking something to the next level. It's the little things.
It is.
It's the little things like Sweet Cure, Cheese Whiz, Easy Cheese. It's the little things that make your food just a little bit better, and it makes your guests. You take pride in the food you serve when people come to your house, and because you want to impress your guests, and you want them to eat good food. So it's a twofold deal you're trying to accomplish, I think. At least I am at my house.
Yeah.
And this does it right here.
It does.
What we're going to do next week, the Super Bowl Super Snack Series, this was episode 2, episode 3 next week, is Michael's going to do his take on Little Smokies. So we're going to be taking Little Smokies up a level or 2. We've done Little Smokies here before, but Michael's going to elevate it just a little bit. Hello, Barbecue Steve. One thing we need to talk about before we go is this stuff right here. This is Meat Church Texas Chili Seasoning. I know we're coming off our big chili contest we had a couple weeks ago. Folks, if you're doing chili, buy this here at this store. Just come to this store and buy this. This is not a shameless plug. I want you to come in here and buy it. And then go to Matt's website, meatchurch.com. look up his chili recipe and cook it using this. I promise you, it's number one, it's easy, and number two, I know everybody's got it. We won't get into chili recipes. Everybody's got one. Hey, we were talking about you, Brandon. Come here. You and Barbecue Steve, come over here.
Brandon, we were just talking about you.
Now, Brandon, go get on that side. Get over there. Let's see, get over here. Steve, you come on over here. Yeah, your camera, right? You're looking good.
How y'all doing?
Brandon Moore, Barbecue Steve Davidson. Brandon is our turkey leg guy. He's the one to buy. He can testify the sweet cure, can't you, Brandon?
Oh, yeah.
Now, after you eat that, the next one has to have the cheese on it.
Oh, I don't eat cheese.
No.
What?
You don't know what you're missing.
Oh, damn.
Scoot you in a little bit, Brandon, so we can get you on camera.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
That's it, isn't it? That's it.
Oh, who make those?
What do you mean who made those? Pete made those.
Pretty good, man.
Good, Pete.
All right, let me see your poker there. Got to watch what you say when you say that, don't you?
I threw my poker away, too.
That's all right.
Well, we got plenty of pokers.
You got fingers.
It's a man show. No, Steve Davidson, your hands are going to raise above your head.
You're fixing to have a party.
You're going to testify right here, buddy.
The Holy Ghost is coming.
Here it is. Bam.
Oh, wow.
Bam. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
That is good.
I knew that would work. Brandon, you sure you don't want to try that?
Not with no cheese, man.
All right.
Y'all see this right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, honey peach and then grilling addiction. But we cured it.
How long?
It's probably about 12, 16 hours.
We injected it, then put it in the cure.
Yeah.
We put the cure in it.
Then
Good.
this is it. You can see this is it cut
It's getting ready to go on the smoker.
to go on the smoker.
See how pink that meat is?
160 degrees.
So when I do mine, I never cured it before, though. Just throw it straight on the
Well,
smoker.
and that's why I wanted to cure it because I've used
You wanna
this
know?
cure a lot, Steve, and
You don't wanna know?
cured a
You
bunch
do.
of
Yeah, you
stuff
do.
with it.
You're just being nice.
And,
Which
and
one's
I
yours?
think that's a game changer because you didn't get a chance to see the videos of it, but as we walked through the process of it, when you cure it and you cut it and look at
Apple
it
habanero.
versus
You want
not
cheese or no
curing it,
cheese?
it's amazing.
Right.
It enhances it so much.
I'm gonna try that.
And,
That's pretty good.
yeah.
Very good.
You can definitely see the difference in the color of the meat when you slice it.
That's good.
I know. I'm telling you, folks, Pete, you did a fantastic job.
Good job, Pete.
Turned out pretty good.
And the cheese was
Good job,
was
Steve.
genius. Was
Yeah,
just
good
genius.
job,
This is the way
Steve.
I cook.
Good job, Steve.
I know Cheese Whiz goes good on everything. I keep saying Cheese Whiz, easy cheese. They make Cheese Whiz.
So-
You know what I'm talking about.
There's 5 of us up here, been eating 6 with Sean, and you can see that was half of the pork belly, and there's still a ton more. So you can feed a lot of people.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
You know, a lot of people.
It is one of the ultimate Super Bowl super snacks.
Yeah.
It is.
So stay with us for next week when Michael is going to do his take on Super Bowl super snack, one of my all-time favorites, Little Smokies.
Little smoke.
If you don't, everybody's got Little Smokies in the refrigerator.
It's going to be amazing.
It's right next to the milk at my house. You got to have Little Smokies at the house.
That's right.
You got to have Little Smokies. All right, Sean, get us out of here. We got to get cleaned up. Come and see us. Don't forget, Meat Church chili season. If you're on a chili rampage, the next 45 days is the height of chili seasoning. We've got the best chili seasoning, I promise you, right here with Meat Church chili seasoning and a plethora of different products for your barbecue to take it to the next level leading up to Super Bowl Sunday. All right? Get us out of here, Sean. Play that same video that we did coming in of Pete. I'm going to have one more. No. but when you slice it, it unwraps.